Pete, there's no way. Pete, we're gonna miss it. Pete, your controls, Pete. Oh my god.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Do you think that you could land an airplane?
Yeah.
What gives you that confidence?
I feel like it's just this, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like you just... Oh my god. Ah, shit, I feel like we should have been more right. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta turn. Yep. Pete, there's no way. Pete, we're gonna miss it. Pete, your controls, Pete. Okay, we're going this way. No way you're landing this.
So do you think if we headed to the airport right now, I gave you the controls of the airplane, that you would be able to successfully get us safely on the ground and land it?
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah, the wrists are feeling good.
I mean, you got a pretty good technique here. I think, what could go wrong?
Let's do it.
There's only one way to find out. Let's head to the airport right now and go fly.
Today's contestant on Can You Land an Airplane, Mr. Tejas. Tejas is a very well-known YouTuber, and he was very confident that he, in fact, could land an airplane. But first things first, we got to see if he can take off. Heading down the runway, power is set, engine instruments are in the green, and we're going for about 65 knots. That's when Tejas is going to slowly pull back on the control wheel or the yoke to lift the airplane off the ground. Airplane has sped up. We've reached rotation speed nice and slowly. Tejas goes to rotate a little bit more oomph, and all of a sudden we are airborne. Nicely done, Mr. Tejas. You have successfully taken off an airplane. He's airborne for the first time, folks, and oh boy, does he look excited. A little bit nervous, but also excited. He's keeping those wings as stable as possible as we climb away from the airport. I've mentioned it once, I'll mention it again. Takeoff is one thing though. As well as he did, a monkey could take off an airplane. It's really not that difficult. The real test comes momentarily when we see if Tejas can land an airplane. And it's now time for the main event. Tejas, can you land an airplane? First thing he says out of his mouth, hey, I need help. That's not what the challenge is, folks. You told me you had the confidence to land an airplane successfully. I think a lot of people's mindset changes once you're actually in the flight deck controlling the airplane. But here we go. We're all counting on you, Tejas. Can you get us on the ground safely? Can you land us at an airport and keep us all alive? One in every third person says they can, but right off the bat, I can tell Tejas is going to have a difficult time getting it done. Tejas now has full control of the airplane, and he finds the airport, which can be one of the most difficult situations when you're trying to land, but he makes the critical mistake of heading right for the airport right away. Folks, when you're at an altitude of 3,000 feet, 20,000 feet, whatever it may be, the airplane can't just descend like a rocket or a rock. It has to pull back the power, use the flaps, descend nice and smoothly. So Tejas starts to realize, hey, I'm heading right to the airport, but we're way too high. So he banks to the left, then banks back to the right to hopefully give himself a little bit more space so that he can successfully land this airplane. He starts to get a little bit of a hang of it, left and then right. He's trying to figure out pitch and power. It ain't as easy as it looks, folks. I know in the movies and on social media we can make it look simple, but I'm telling you, flying an airplane takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of talent. He's figuring it out though. He's talking himself through it. He's wiggling the airplane left. He's wiggling it right. He still hasn't utilized any of the power. As you can see, that black throttle right there in the middle quadrant is the power of the airplane. We can see the runway off of our left there. We're way too high, and we're seeing if Tejas is gonna be able to correct. It's at this very moment where Tejas realizes there is no way in heck he's gonna land. He's calling for my help.
Pete, your controls, Pete.
And as you can see here at our windscreen, we are way too high. There's no way we're gonna successfully land. So I take the controls from Tejas and enter into a forward slip. As you can see by his reaction, he is very, very uncomfortable to start. Don't worry, folks. A forward slip is a very common common maneuver that us pilots in general aviation use to get the airplane down faster. So I was just demonstrating that. But again, we were way too fast, way too high. We were never going to land. So it's going to be a fail for Mr. Tejas on attempting to land an airplane. Since I'm such a good friend, I allowed Tejas a second opportunity to successfully land an airplane, but this time with assistance from his favorite pilot. So this time we're setting him up to successfully land by teaching him not only the controls of how to move the airplane left and right and up and down, but how to actually manipulate the power to actually come down and land. So I'm telling him to pull the power out to a certain RPMs, around 1500 RPMs. This is going to slowly start a nice descent towards the airport, nice and controlled, nice and relaxed, so that no passengers are freaking out or getting sick. Tejas is nice and relieved to find out you don't have to actually bend your wrists up and down to make the airplane go up and down.
Yeah, the wrists are feeling good.
You can just push the controls nice and gently forward and backwards to climb or descend, and nice and left and right to turn the airplane. So we start a nice base turn here, setting him up for a nice approach. Our speed is looking good. Our altitude is looking good as we're coming down nice and evenly as we straighten out here on the base leg of the landing. We're looking out the runway. We're making sure our spacing is good. He's right on point. We're coming down about 600 feet per minute, and we're just on speed for the first notch of flaps in the Piper Warrior. It's a little handlebar you pull up to bring in the first notch of flaps. It's going to add drag to the airplane and allow the airplane not only to descend, but also slow down so that you can come to approach speed to safely land the airplane. About 20 degrees from intercept to final. We're going to start a nice turn to final here. You can see the runway out your left wing there. As the power comes back a little bit, Tejas also is going to add his second notch of flaps to again increase that drag, start slowing the airplane down, and safely come down so that we can get the airplane not only aligned with the runway center line, but also on a speed at which it can actually touch down and safely stop before we get to the end. Pulling out on final, we're still a little bit fast, so I'm telling Tejas to actually pitch the airplane up, because what you want to do when you're behind the power curve is you want to pitch for airspeed and power for altitude. So we're a little bit high, we're a little bit fast, some of that power is going to come out. I'm telling Tejas to slowly pull back on the control yoke. It's all him at this point. I'm just helping, guiding him down, talking him through it. As we get closer, you can tell things start to speed up as you get closer to the ground. So this is when I'm right there with him, trying to guide him through all the way to touchdown. A little bit of gust over the trees, on center line, on speed. We're crossing the threshold and the numbers right where we want to go. We're a little bit fast, so we're gonna have a little bit of a balloon right before we touch down nice and safely on the ground. Tejas is in shock. He has done it, folks. He has successfully landed an airplane with a little bit of assistance from Pilot Pete.
Nice landing, buddy.
Dude! Oh my god!
What do we think, folks? You want him on your 737 next time?
Oh my god! Dude! That is so different than anything I've thought of how to land a plane. Oh my god! Dude, that is tough to straighten out. It kept going like this.
What gives you that confidence?
I feel like it's just this, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's exhilarating, bro.
All right, so we had another contestant who thought they could successfully land an airplane, but you could see it in your eyes, Mr. Tejas. It wasn't there.
It's not just this.
It's not just that.
It's
a little bit more than the wrist action that you had thought you might be able to do. So what's your confidence level now, having tried? If we had to go up again, what's your confidence level at?
If I had to do it by myself, like a 3 out of 10. But if you were there and for some reason I could like slap you and get like 3 words out of you every minute, 7 out of 10.
So it almost seems like if you had like air traffic control assisting you or a pilot maybe shadowing you, you'd have a better chance.
Yes, I forgot about air traffic control.
Yes, I do like that. Overall, I thought you did a decent job, but you got to admit that us pilots do have a little difficult job, and it takes a little bit of training and skill to successfully land.
It does. Like just lining up to the runway itself is so difficult. And then I have no clue and no benchmarks on like when to start doing any of this stuff.
Training and practice, it's all it takes, folks. Folks, another person who thought it would be easy until they tried. Tejas, thanks for coming out and trying. Comment below who you want to see on the next video, and we'll see you on the next episode.